Okay, day 6. We made it to Strongsville, Ohio last night. Say hi. We just got in the car, stayed at a Best Western. I mean, it's like $100 with military discount. It is raining now here, mixed with some snow flurries, it looks like, because it is pretty cold. We're gonna push to try to get to Eastern Connecticut by tonight, so it'll be later, and maybe even late, depending on traffic, weather, charging, all that stuff. So if we can get there tonight, then it would have taken us 6 days to go from California to Connecticut, exceeding my expectations. I'm bribing him. I said I'd give him money if he went through the maze like a rat. Come on, rat man. It took 25 minutes of convincing. Where are you? Yep, you look like a hamster. You gotta go all the way to the top. There's like a helicopter out here. Don't worry, it's safe. Kids climb in here all the time. No. Go ahead. Alright, go into the helicopter. Alright, and then come down this big red slide. It connects on the other side of the tower you're in. Like over here where there's a bubble, you can look out. Follow my voice. Where are you? But on this side. I'm over here. Where I put the coffee down on the table. Oh my God. This way! Do you know the perception of where my voice is coming from? Go back to the helicopter. Right here. Look this way. I can see your hair. Okay, over here you have to go. See the bubble? No, you missed it. You going down? You lied? You made it? With the slippery pants on? Did you go extra fast? We'll get up that dirty floor. Hi. So we made it. We made it to Eastern Connecticut. It did take only 6 days, which I don't know if in another lifetime I was a long-haul trucker, but we made it here in 6 days from California, Silicon Valley area, to Eastern Connecticut, almost Rhode Island. It's a couple days later. We rolled in on the 6th day at like 9:30 p.m. So I think the last video I did, we were still in Ohio. It was like the morning of day 6. So that means we went through Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, and then into Connecticut. We did stop maybe 2 or 3 times to charge. You know, by the time we got here, I think our charge was at like 20%. The nearest charger to where my parents live, because they live like in Farmtown, is about 10-15 minutes away. I went there yesterday and charged up. We do not have like the little trickle charge cable that you can just go into the house. That's something that you have to order extra. And we thought we had ordered it, but when we picked up the car, they're like, oh, they should mail it to you. And then my husband double checked on it and it was like never ordered. So anyway, he ordered that. That's getting mailed here. So once that comes in, then I can just plug in at my parents' house and trickle charge while we hang out, and I'll set the battery to 80% at that point just for daily driving. today I'm in the car because my husband received an email saying there was an update. The car is saying that it's updated as of this morning, but like the list of things that shows that you're supposed to be able to do now, I'm not seeing them. So I don't know if for some reason it wouldn't be compatible with my car, or if it's a Wi-Fi issue, because like I said, we're kind of in the middle of nowhere, so Wi-Fi is like spotty, service is spotty. Again, I'm not a technology person, so a lot of stuff, like, it's not, for me, it's just, I gotta Google, ask people, YouTube, like, I don't know. Also, my husband put in a service request because when we picked up the car, you know, they have you look it over, the rubber gasket around the trunk was torn, and like the tail of it was like flopping out. So we knew we had to get that fixed. And also he saw some condensation in the taillights, so he thought maybe it was a gasket issue. He put in a trouble ticket and made me an appointment for like a week out, but the nearest service center is like an hour away from where my parents live, and it's actually in Rhode Island. So I had to fill out like a questionnaire on the Tesla app. They were asking about the condensation, but also I asked them to put in a request 3 times since we've gotten the car now while I'm driving for 10 seconds or less. The screen where like the screen above the steering wheel or the yoke goes black for like 10 seconds or less, which is like disconcerting when you're driving because now you can't see your speed, but like you can still see on the main screen like your battery charge and stuff like that. So we're gonna have them look at that. I mean, we literally got the car, and then 3 days later I drove it cross country. So we got it with like 12 miles on it. Now we're over 3,000 miles. My 2 takeaways are, 1, I never would have driven this far this fast without the full self-driving beta. There's no way that like my leg would have been killing me, like my right knee. I know in the past driving cars for long distances, like my leg gets tired. You know, you're just mentally tired from all those like little micro decisions you're making constantly. And then also we took 80 across the states, which is basically a straight road. So I use self-driving most of the way. I've mostly driven on the highway at this point. So there's no way I would have been able to driven that far without this full self-driving. I mean, the cruise control is awesome. That's great. But the full self-driving, hands down, there's no way I would have been able to drive, you know, 8+ hours a day or whatever I did. And 2, and personally, I feel like I do not, like, for me, now owning a Tesla, I don't see how I could ever go back to a regular car. And I'm not even saying, like, just because it's electric and I didn't have to, like, spend $1 million in gas. Because I had a Maserati Levante, so, like, to fill that up, you know, it was a lot of gas, a lot of money. You know, we were charging several times a day, but on average, my charges were only like $20. But anyway, like, I don't see that, like, how you could go to this and it's like so convenient, especially for a road trip like that. The full self-driving beta, the games, the media, like we have Disney, Hulu, Netflix, how the screens, like how comfortable it is. Like, I was never really sore. I was able to adjust my seat if I started getting tired or a little sore. Only once, like, did my ass feel like, oh, it's starting to hurt. And, like, you know, we would stop to use the restroom or get snacks or charge or whatever. But, like, I just don't know how I could ever go back, especially for a long trip like that, to, like, a regular car with, like, the engine noise and, like, having to constantly, you know, drive yourself. I don't know, it sounds so like first world problems, right? But anyway, I'll probably do a review in a couple weeks after we go to service center, see how that works out, see what they say about the screen. That's the thing that I'm worried about the most, especially because eventually we're gonna have to drive back to California, and we're gonna take our time, so that instead of being 6 days, that's gonna be probably a 2-week trip back at least. Again, I homeschool my son, so, like, this is like an adventure for us. We are out here, we're visiting family and friends, we are doing school in between. On the way back, we're gonna hit museums and national parks and all that stuff. So this video is getting kind of long, but I just want to say I love our Tesla. I mean, my husband's worked there since 2017. He's been telling me how awesome they are. We've, you know, rented them through Turo, and sometimes he's borrowed some from the job for the weekend for us to ride in, but he usually drives. I only drove once for like 5 minutes, and I remember at the time I was like, oh, I don't like how like the accelerator works and it slows down so fast. And I feel like since then, it did, from what I remember, like this drives totally more comfortable. It's way more intuitive, and I still haven't even used Plaid mode. Like I started out in chill, and after like 2 days when I felt comfortable, I went into, I think it's sport mode, and that to me felt more like the Maserati, but of course way more power and acceleration. And I still haven't done the Plaid, and we still haven't done like the launch like drag strip thing. And like I don't know if I feel comfortable doing that, because the other day I had my mom in the car, and all I did was hit the accelerator fast on a straightaway just to show her like how fast it can go, how, you know, how fast it can pick up speed. And I got a little lightheaded, and I was like, nah, I don't think I'll be doing the drag strip thing anytime soon. Maybe I'll get my husband to do it when we get back home, or my brother would probably be down for that. Maybe my dad too. He might do that. But we gotta find a flat straightaway first, because I'm not trying to kill everybody. All right, so that's it. This is a long video. I'll be back with more reviews, and if you guys have any comments, questions, knowledge for me, obviously I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just figuring it out on the fly, and here we are, and I love it, and I don't think I will ever not have a Tesla at this point. So